Yes, people. How's everyone? How's everyone doing? I'm sure everyone's pretty mint at the moment. To be fair, um, how's everyone doing? Uh, and the video today is obviously going to be based on the title. Is going to be a discussion about the squad. Who do we let go? Not necessarily a keep, buy, sell. That makes sense. Keep, loan, sell, but more of a just a deeper discussion in what the squad looks like, what we need, and what we need to keep in terms of attributes and experience and all that. Because yeah, I will get into that, but I just want to quickly say, big up to everyone at the parade. Then that was honestly the best one of, if not the best day of my life. It was just so good. The actual parade was amazing, meeting absolute legends. So big up to everyone there that I had a chat with and said hello to me. You're all absolute legends. Obviously, I'm meeting people like Luke, Joe, JT, Oscar for the first time as well. All absolute legends. Great day. It's good to see so many people enjoying and living in the moment. So good to see. And the players absolutely loved it as well. And for me, it really brought a close connection with fans and players. And we needed that, especially going into the Premier League. We need that backing. I think they needed that. So it's such an unbelievable day, and I'm still recovering from it. I'm still getting over it emotionally. To be honest, it was outstanding. So big up to everyone I met. All absolute legends. Yeah. But anyway, let's get into this video. I've not moved on. I've been watching videos. I've been watching all the scenes for days now. I don't want to move on. I want to live in this and bask in this for weeks, and I will, obviously, away from this video. Don't best believe I will be living still, watching all these videos and all these scenes. But we've got to move on, haven't we? We've got to continue. We've got to keep this going. So, yeah, we'll get into this right now. Apologies for all the time. So this is the squad people here, right? Appreciate it might be a little small, and I apologise. I'll move them around and say them if you can't see the names. Don't worry about it. But this is the squad. Let's have a look at it. Now, initially, looking at that, there's a lot of players. Not too bad, right? And I've colour-coded it for a reason. The blue are the youth players. The yellow are players I think could go or are out on loan or last year of the contract, basically. And the white are the ones that are here, years left on the contract. Basically, that's the way it is. Now, one big issue for me, and this is what I'm seeing a lot, for me, and I'll explain why, there's way too many people absolutely letting people go. Now, I understand the meaning and the understanding, I understand the mindset of that. But taking into context, we've been told many times by different sources that the figure is something around 60 million if we don't sell. Deep that. We're in the Premier League. 60 million assuming we don't sell. Now, whatever that is, I don't know. That's what people are saying. If that's the case, we have to be so careful. So careful, in my opinion. Extremely careful. But let's do one thing straight away. Let's take away the youth players, right? Because one, I think it's a massive step for the Premier League, and I don't think any of them will impact next year. Could be wrong, but I don't think they will. We'll take DeBayo, JB, Chambers, Crew. I could see, obviously, a lot of these going on loan, but if that's the case, we're even shorter. So we'll take them away. That's how our squad looks. Players we know probably not going to be here next year. Greenwood, Gelhardt, Rockwell is on loan, so assuming that hasn't changed, he will be gone. Gilavogi's contract has run out. Nothing's come on that. Assuming that, he will be gone. Harrison, we'll assume, will leave. Solomon again, whether we get him or not right now, that's not the thing. We don't know what's happening, so assume he's gone. Firpo is out of contract. Will he sign it? Will he not? We don't know. So the uncertainty right now is that he's gone. Right? We don't know. Think he might. I hope he does. But right now, I think it's fair to say we don't know. Sam Byram, out of contract. I'll leave Rober there because he's not out of contract. I just put him in because I don't think he'll be here. But that's the team. Then for Bamford. Again. So that's the team. So taking away youth players, which we can all agree, I think, Although, look, I'm not putting it against them. One of them might one of them might come through. We might have to resort to one or two of them because of the financial regulations. Right, we might have to. That could be a Gray, that could be a Chambers. JB could be a fourth option. But for me, they have to play, especially the likes of JB Crew. They have to play for me. Chambers and Gray are very, very young, and DeBayo, so they don't really have to play. But they can be about. Also, they can go out on loan. But we'll assume that they're not going to play, right? Or for the most part. This is our squad at the moment. And let's be honest, it's not a lot, is it? And people don't want Byron. A lot of people are saying, get rid of him. Okay, we have 0 left back at the moment. We have no backup there. All right, we could play Schmidt there. We have no backup fullbacks. Who's our backup centre back? Ampadu. Okay. Yeah, he can play. He plays left sided, which is a worry as well. But we'll assume he's right side. We've got 2 midfielders. Wingers. Do we sign Solomon? Maybe we do. Don't look too bad. Probably our most depth in the entire squad. Right? But that's not happened yet. All right, argument's sake, we sign him. Good deal. We'll get a good deal for him. Less than 20 million or something like that. Good deal. He's in there. Decent wingers. Ramazani, James, Nonto, Solomon. All of them, by the way, although they're very good, they all have to step up now. Because the wide areas are so vital. So vital. We know that. You know, in this the way we build up. The wingers are vital. So they seriously need to step up. But that's doing the benefit of the doubt. I'll even do this. Benefit of the doubt. Firpo's in. Nice. It can cover both. The issue is this. We're still so short. And ask yourself this, right? Out of the starting 11, okay, 4 wingers, 2 of them at once, probably good enough, probably good there. The 10, look how short that is. And the only option is Aronson. Our strikers, Joseph, we'll talk about PSR in a minute. Unfortunately, we have to, which I hate. Bamford, is he going to stay? Is he going to play? Joe Perot, assuming they're gone or they're not really going to impact. It's not a lot, is it? Field, I mean, look at that. Okay, we'll put Ampadu back in there. Let's be realistic. He will be in midfield, hopefully. Very short at the back. And a lot of us think Vobu will go. Keepers, are any of them good enough for the Premier League? My point being, we're short. I'm not in a rush in the slightest to get rid of rotation players. And when I say rotation players, I mean players that might not even play. They might play 10 minutes at the end of the game to see a game out. Every single squad in the world needs rotation players. When you mention names, people know, no, not good enough. No, he's not good enough to play or start. He's not good enough to be a consistent player within the team. No. There's players you need in the squad. Look at every Premier League squad. There's 5 or 6 players in there that hardly play. But they're there because they need to be. We don't have any of that at the moment. Look at the team. There's next to nothing in terms of depth. And even looking at our starting 11, how many of these players can you guarantee are good enough to play a 38 Premier League game season? You know, I do think Rodon will, but this is my problem with me. For Rodon, I feel he's the pace in there for me. He's the recovery defender. He's the progressive defender. For me, we need an absolute beast next to him. We saw when Rodon comes up against big, quick, athletic players, which we've seen this season, with I forget his name. Is it Bundu from Plymouth? And then obviously Chet Fatadze, people like that, who was at Watford. Those type of players, he does struggle. That's fine. You need a partner to help you out in these situations. Are Strauch and Voba those guys? I'm not sure. For me, ideally, keep Strauch, you sell Voba, because look, Nothing against him. I've not seen him play this season. I don't feel like it's going to necessarily work. I feel like there's other options. You can get a decent price for him. You know, he played at a good level last season. And if that's the case, that's the one I would sell. Probably the first one. And then you have to bring in a backup. For me, you have to bring in someone who can compete with Strauch. It's really important. Even you bring in a youth player or a young player who's ready, played in Europe. That's what I do defensively. I'd also use Schmidt as our backup right back. People's talking about Schmidt on loan. Can't afford it, people. We can't afford it. And I bring in a left back to compete with Junior Firpo, who I think we have to keep. If we get rid of Firpo, we have nothing here. We need to keep him. And again, we need an option. Firpo can affect this season next year. He can. He's developed as a player. He's excellent in the final third. He's more confident, which is a huge thing. He is extremely confident now. He's never going to be perfect in certain aspects of his game, but he can bring a lot to the team. And we need to stop looking for perfection because it doesn't exist. We're not spent. If we've got a budget of 60 million, it probably will be slightly more if we sell players, which I'll get into in a minute. You know, we can't just keep, we need to bring in this. We can't. We have to be selective. Now, the greens that I'm putting down here are positions I'm wary of, but I'll go into the top 3 or 4 in a minute. We need a backup left back, don't we? Let's be honest. We don't have one. We can't have Schmidt doing both. And if people don't want Byron back, that's a situation we're in. How much is that? If we do have a limited budget, how much is bringing in a left back, backup left back, taking away from our 10 position, our strike position, our midfield? That's my worry. Our goalkeeper. We have a lot to fill in. But I think it's fair to say we all need a goalkeeper. I think we can all agree on that. For me, I feel like Darlow will want to play. I think Cairns is a good third because he's that what's the word? I forget the word. You know, the people that I forget the word. He's local. He's from our country. What's that called? I can't remember. God, my brain. But he's that guy. So for me, he stays. I'm not sure about Darlow. I feel he want to play Meslier again. Are we going to stick with him? I don't think he got dropped in the Championship. I'm not sure that's sensible. Maybe Meslier's one you sell. For me, you've got 2 backups there. If that's the case, Darlow might want to play. He's an iffy one for me. Cairns stays. And you bring in a goalkeeper. Okay. Going forward, midfield is 3 enough. Not for me. It's not a lot at all. Again, Darko JB had a good season. And this is where, for me, this is where you have to think about PSR and what you can really spend. And you have JB as a 4th option. Has he developed or progressed that much? For me, he needs one more good loan in the Championship just to see at a higher end, to see if he's got that level. Because from Plymouth, who got relegated to Premier League, it is a huge step. I feel like JB needs one more season in the Championship at a good level. Maybe like a Middlesbrough or there's a team around there who's pushing. I think that's a good thing for him. So he's out for me based on that. But you don't know. Pre-season's a thing. They could come back absolute beasts. But 3 enough? I don't think it is. I don't think 3 is enough. I think we need 1. I think we need an 8. I think we've got good defensive players here. Tanaka's a bit more higher than Gruev and Ampadu. It's more like this. People want to sell Gruev, and I understand it. I'm not sure whether he's quick enough for the Prem. But we sell Gruev. We've got 2 midfielders. Even if we bring 1 in, we've got 3. That's not enough. We can't bring in 2. If we're on a limited budget, which apparently we are, we can't bring in 2 midfielders. How much is that going to cost? This is my point. It's so frustrating, this budget stuff. It is irritating. Genuinely, I'm not going to get into that in this video, but it's annoying. So for me, we've got to keep him based on that. But we also need to sell players to raise funds. So who knows? But for me, we're bringing in 8. I think we need an aggressive, athletic, box-to-box 8. I think that's what we're missing in this team. For me, we're massively missing physicality. I'm bringing in a physical fullback. I'm bringing in a physical centre-back. I'm bringing in a physical 8 who can carry the ball, drive with the ball, go back and forth, forwards and back, really get up the pitch, up and down. That's what I'm ringing in there. I actually think it's really important we get that. The way we are going to play next year, we need that transitional player who can defend quickly and get forward quickly and break forward through attacks and attack the box. I think it's vital, actually, I do. And then you've got 4 options in there. You know, maybe we don't play over 10. Maybe we go with 3 in midfield. Ampadu, Tanaka and a new 8. Maybe that's the word. Maybe this 8 is a hybrid 8-10 who can play in the 10. Who is a 10 player but can drop as an 8. You know, who knows? But for me, this guy, whether it's an 8 or an 8/10, this person, for me personally, is a big priority. I think it's really important in the Premier League. I don't think we have the athleticism, as I would say, in midfield to cope at all. I think this person is key, and this is probably the one that's going to cost you the money, in my opinion. I think this is the important one right here. But yeah. And then we've got 4 in there. That's all right. Like I said, it's not bad. I'd prefer 5. I would. That's whatever. That's the way we are. Like I said, do we bring in Rothwell? Does Rothwell stay? He's an 8. He can drive forward, but for me, he's not athletic. He's not a box-to-box 8. He's very much a going forward 8. For me, we need a box-to-box. A real box-to-box. So you could keep Rothwell, but even if you did, how much are you paying for him? I'd still think we need that 8 profile, 8/10. I do. You could see that. That's fair. I'm not disputing that. You could. And look, if we keep Rothwell, that's fine, but I hope we're not relying on the exact same midfield in the Championship, because it did get overrun at times, and that's because of the athleticism, it's a hard word, in that midfield. We need more in there. This guy is key. But yeah, I'll take Rothwell out now because, again, there's nothing on that. And then we go forward. I don't know where 6 has gone. Yeah. Oh, it's the wrong one. 6. Number 10, I think we all know. Again, similar to this 8, I just think we need a big... I don't know where... The thing is, if we do get an 8 and is a real box-to-box physical 8, I think we can get away with having a nice technical 10. And then Seesaw is a name that I'd absolutely love at this club. But that depends on what you have around him for me. That really depends on what you have around him. We still need an 8. We still need a 10. Whatever that profile is, I've not fully decided yet. I'll have to have a look at the squad deeply and try to figure that out. But we need one. Whether that is this player, whether they're the same player, we need one. 100%, without a doubt. Wingers. Sign Solomon. We're not going to sign a 5th, are we? And Ramazani, James, Nonto, Solomon in the Prem. Pretty decent, but... And I'll clarify this. Wingers is so important in this team. They have to step up 100%. They have to be at a level because we will massively be relying on them. And then we go into the attack. And this is, for me, where we're losing a player. And I hate this. Pride talked about PSR and our need to sell players. Which players did we bring in through the youth academy who have been here for so long, who will give the biggest PSR profit in the team? It's Strauch and Joseph. It's Pascal Strauch and Matteo Joseph. Don't think we'll sell Strauch just because we are short there, and he's already proven in the Prem that he can do it. He was inconsistent in the Prem, but he's an option, right? Is my point. So then you're looking at Matteo Joseph. I honestly don't know who else we can sell who can help us PSR. I don't. I'm looking now and I have no idea. But for me, that's a worry for him. In an ideal world where you don't have to worry about PSR, BS, Matteo Joseph stays. He goes on loan. He gets a really good loan, whether that's to Spain or the Championship. He gets a real good loan where he's playing a lot of football. He develops because he needs to play next year. He's not a bench player for anyone next year. He has to play football. Has to. And is he going to play for us? We've been linked to Beto. Obviously, it seems like we want a striker. Is he going to play? That's my ideal situation. He goes on loan for a year. He absolutely kills it, which he's got in the locker, by the way. He will do that. I'm sure he would. If we get the right loan for him, where he's the man, and he's allowed a little bit of patience to get into form, I think he'd absolutely smash it. But he needs to play. But then that's what I'd do. But then there's the horrible PSR side to it, which Parag mentioned. We're going to have to sell players based on PSR. And that's not just selling any players, by the way. That's players that help on PSR, the profit. Not just selling anyone. That's, he's pure profit. We brought him in for what? I think it was 900k years ago through the youth academy. I feel like he'd be one that could fall to the sword based on that terrible PSR stuff. I really do. I hope that's not the case. I really do hope that's not the case. But that's what I'm looking out for. Bamford, I think it's fair to say, he's older now, time in the Prem. We need to bring in a new striker. Joe Perreault, for me, can get the goals. He can get the goals. But he's not got that physical edge you need in the Prem. He needs support. He massively needs support. So my 7th key place is a striker. And again, I hope Strauch and Joseph don't get sold. I really do. Because that'd be terrible. But that's the situation we're in, it seems. Hopefully that's wrong. Hopefully Parag can do something. I'm backing. I'm praying Parag just does something to bring some funds there. I don't know what. I don't care. Just do something, please. Because we need to keep these players. So there you're looking at what? 7 players? No, it's 8 players, isn't it? No, it's 7. I can't count. That's 7 players. How are we going to bring 7 players based on the apparent 60 million? And hopefully it's more than that. But even then, probably not. How much you're spending per player, how quality are them players. So look, we have to take this into consideration. For my opinion, and I'll go in order of what I think the most important position is. I'm going to assume, and right, so I'm assuming we're signing Solomon. I think we will. And if we don't, by the way, we need to bring in a winger. We have to. I'm assuming we'll. I'm going to do something here that I've just thought now. I didn't think I was going to do. No, I'm not. This is so hard. I'll be back with you in a minute. I need to think about this. Right, so for me, start the back. For me, we need a goalkeeper. I think that's vital. I think if we're in a relegation kind of fight, which we'll be in and around, whether we're in that or, we'll be in and around it. We will be 100%. For me, we need a solid, reliable goalkeeper. And I think that's vital. I think for me, goalkeeper's the number 1. 10's interesting because we need a 10. But I don't know whether we'll play as a hybrid 8-10. I'm not sure whether we'll use that person. Again, looking defensively, look how short that is. For me, we need centre-back. Maybe even 2. But 1 centre-back is the second priority for me. Maybe we're bringing a second. Maybe we'll keep Voba. Don't know. For me, one of the key priorities is a centre-back. Third is that midfielder. And again, centre-back second just based on the fact that we don't have any. And we know next year is going to be a big strain on our defence. And we need a solid defence. And we need numbers back there, 100%. So third is midfielder. I think it's key. We don't have that aggression. Well, not aggression. We don't have that physical output, that intensity in there at all. Do we? We just don't. We have some brilliant players in there, don't get me wrong, but we don't have that box-to-box kind of maverick. Can do a bit of everything. Don't have that. Score goals, can defend, transition is excellent, attack spaces, can control the ball. We don't have that player, and we need it. It's really key for me. They're kind of that Premier League quality player that we need. So that's third. Fourth is striker. We need a striker. Look, we don't know what's going to happen with these two. I think that's fair to say. Perreault can't do it himself. We need, again, same as the midfielder, we need a physical, dominant striker for me. One who can quick, one who can hold the ball up, one who can attack, one who's aggressive. We need to be an aggressive team next year because the technical qualities of the league, we're probably not going to catch up in the first year. That takes 3 or 4 windows, right? That's what we need to remember as well. This isn't all something we can fix in one window. We're going to have weaknesses. We can't fix it on a budget in one window. We have to prioritize positions. So for me, we need a physical, dominant striker. We need to catch up physically. If we can compete physically with every team, make every team in every game difficult, for me, we stand a chance. We need that. That's what I mean. Strong goalkeeper, strong physical defender, strong physical athletic midfielder, and a strong physical striker. Our wingers are good. They can work with that striker. We've got Perot, who can score goals off the bench or even just compete. They're the main ones. They're the 4 for me. I know people are screaming 10. I just feel if, for example, if we keep Rothwell, maybe this guy can be that 10, if that makes sense. But he's also someone who can play box to box. I've got a few players in mind who can fit that hybrid role. But it's a hard one because I don't know if we'll keep Rothwell. But assuming we don't, then obviously we need a 10. And all these are important, by the way. They're all important to me, every single position. But it's just looking at where we're short, and we are short in the 10. But that 8 for me is that player who could potentially play in there. I'm looking for a guy who can do both, kind of thing. But then if Farke wants to go for a more smaller technical 10, that 10 is probably 2 or 3, right? Let's be real. It's very vital. But it depends what profile he wants. That's why he's not high up in terms of what we need. It's just on the profile. If we do need a physical profile in there, if he wants a physical profile in there, we can bring in that 8 who can do that role. Then we've got Snacka and Ampadu behind him. Excellent. If Farke wants that skillful technical 10, probably 3 on the list, right? Very important. So that's my criteria there. Don't worry. We do massively need one. It's just whether that profile will be. And then for me, you're looking at backups. So you're looking at a left back, maybe even a second defender. That's my thing. And again, the context is we might not sell Voba. We might keep one of these players. We might keep Rothwell. We might sell Solomon. This is just my thing. Let me know what you guys think. This is, I love doing stuff like this. It's intriguing. It's hard though, because remember, I'm using the context that we're probably going to be on a budget based on just what I've seen so far. So we've got to be really careful with this. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Yeah, and I've been terrible in the comments. I've been just enjoying the moment. I'm going to reply last 3 videos today, this evening. So I will reply, I promise. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. Let me know what you guys think, obviously. I want to know. I'm curious. In a bit. Bye-bye.